I'm surly right now. I'm very surly.
Oh, good.
It's fine. It's all sleep related, of course.
Amen to that.
How are you
God.
now that you're back in the homestead?
I got one. Okay, so I've had 3 full nights of sleep this year,
What?
and I know that because I had one on Saturday.
Wow! Congratulations.
And it was amazing.
Yeah?
It was I mean, I woke up at 6 a.m., but it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like the cats didn't fuck with me all night. And I woke up Sunday for like a perfect, like, long day of sporting events. But yes, it was just like, I'm like, oh, this is what people feel like when they get 7 hours of
like
sleep.
a Disney princess.
Welcome to 2 Shots and a Royalty Check, brought to you by Venmo, your money, your move, and Liquid Death, murder your thirst. Let's get back into it. Oh, Jesus Christ.
World.
It was amazing. I felt like doing so much, but then I also felt like just fucking around all day because I felt good. You
totally.
know? But this is kind of like how my nights are. Like I get so burnt out, and then I get like a little bit of alone time at like 11 or so, and I'm like, I should go to sleep. I should do my breathing exercises.
Should is a dirty word.
And prepare for but I'm like, but I feel good right now. Like
totally.
I feel good. There's nobody. Everything's quiet. I just want to sit and think and hang out. And
Totally.
fucking watch something.
Did you end up watching something?
I did. I'm watching a bunch of shit right now. I'm preparing for like this monster recording run.
Oh yeah.
And so
of all your songs.
I'm trying to get some inspiration of like kind of studio stuff, and so I'm like seeking out like old Pink Floyd in the studio stuff.
Super.
Yeah, little things like that. I've always loved behind the scenes shit. Like, I'm a sucker for like an 80s rock video that shows them on the road, but it's on the tour bus and behind the stage. I'm a sucker. I
love that shit. Totally.
And so it's the same with like studio stuff, like Sting, Bring on the Night.
Oh yeah,
same thing. Like when everyone's kind of like the rehearsing and the recording and the takes, and like I'm just kind of trying to get those juices flowing again, because when you're producing yourself alone, I'm trying to get into a producer's mindset to produce myself.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not trying for the best recordings ever or the best things ever. Actually, but that's like what I came into this thinking. Like, I just want to get these songs down and get them to my guy Warner in Nashville and all that kind of crap.
Happens,
I just want to get these hundreds of songs kind of recorded and out. And then I've noticed, and that's because like this has been an ongoing project for 10 fucking years of wanting to do that.
Yeah.
In between recording, stuff for the football stuff and the stuff we're doing, and and different things. And the animation series and all the stuff that,
oh my God,
because of strikes and crap and things, like nothing's happened because of
all that.
What do you mean?
I don't understand.
Well, just like kidding. everyone that knows, like if you've ever worked on an animated project, it just takes forever. Yeah. Like Dan Soder is working on an animated project with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Fuck yeah.
And he can't really talk about it right now, because we're still in that little phase.
But you just did. You're in trouble now?
But he's saying, I can. I don't give a fuck. I don't have my WGA card anymore. But like the thing is like he's like, oh my God, it just takes so long. And it just there's no shortcut around it. But so anyway, I'm for the longest time I thought, oh, I'll just bang these out and blah blah blah, because for the longest time, that kind of music isn't really viable for sync. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, you got to do sort of an anthemic stinger or something up tempo. Like a lot of the sync stuff that I'll be placing is like that. And then over the last 10 years, all of that has changed back to where I was.
Yeah.
Where it's like, like a really strong acoustic performance with just a really good song and a really good strong vocal.
Yeah.
And like the guitar didn't even have to be great.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just,
Totally.
you know, if it's just a great song, it can still be workable.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, well, fuck, I probably should take a little bit more time. Because as I'm going through them, there have been a few songs that I'm shocked by.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't played that song literally for 20 years or more. And I'm like, this is a good fucking song. Like this one, like, you know, I can tell when I'm honest with myself to go, this isn't great, this isn't good, or I don't think I've ever really finished or would record a song that isn't good, but like definitely not great, you know. But there's a few that I'm like, fucking A, man, all right. This is all right.
All right, so maybe I
put a little juice on this one.
Maybe I do have some skin in this game after all. What's going on?
Yeah, a little bit of this action. I don't have to do all the fucking EDM and all that stuff.
Wow. Optimus Prime took a shit. Ow.
So yeah, that's kind of what I'm watching to inspire myself to produce myself a little bit.
How easy do you find that? Do you find it easy to code switch like that? Go between like artist mode and then producer mode, where you have to do a little bit of emergency vocal triage?
I find it easier to do when it's artist driven.
Yeah. Okay.
Like when it's commerce driven. So I make this differentiation between like writing music for brands or writing music for jingle, that kind of stuff. I know that lane pretty well. I know how short it's going to be. I know what the stuff is going to be. And then it's either a yes or no. You should not spend too much time on it. But like on the other side, when it's artist driven, I know I have to wear my producer hat and yell at myself of like, that's a weak line.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not impressed with it, if you're not like, oh, I can't wait to get to that third line, or, you know, if I know that I haven't built in those songwriting tricks, like repeating the three phrases and then changing the fourth to an up or whatever, like those kind of things that, or like, you know, when I'm writing or when I'm just playing it for myself, I'm not thinking shaker.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking, I'm not thinking I need to leave it unresolved before the pre-chorus because I'm just like, I'm writing the song, you know, verse, pre-chorus, whatever.
Yeah.
And so as a producer, then I can come in and go, then if I change that mindset, it's much easier for me to get hard on myself and push it a little bit more and go, you know what? Drop that pre-chorus in half and let's just see what happens there. Put a stop there, or stop using. Like I guess when you get older, and I know we've had this conversation before, I am aware of the shortcuts. I take.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm aware of my songwriting style, my waka chickas,
my formulas,
my double verses, like the way that I do, you know, words on verses and what I do, and it's part of my style. It's just like if I know that I'm like, okay, there's not a reason for it there. That doesn't create something better. Yeah. It's just that there. Sounded cool.
Yeah.
It sounded cool at the time, you know, then as a producer, I can sort of stop myself and go, okay, let's break it apart. And I think this is important for people out there to hear, because if you're producing yourself, and I do agree that you should have outside producers, which this will probably go to at some point, but I just want to get it to where I wanted it first. Because there's so much material. But if you're self-producing your stuff, the best thing you can do is completely fuck with your form.
Mess with your habits.
Right? Yeah, like, so there's a song I'm working on right now that, you know, is from way, way back in the past.
In the 1900s?
And yes, absolutely.
1900s.
The 1900s with a 9 after it, there are a few with an 8 on them.
Oh dear.
There's one called Stone Cold Love from '88.
Is it a Journey homage? Oh wait, that's Stone in Love. I apologize, everybody.
No, it was actually written for the Indigo Girls.
Oh hell yes.
There's a whole long story there. I recorded it when I was in college. I made the 12th cut on the album. It was like one of the first songs I pitched ever, like in LA, and I didn't. This is in the follow-up to Closer I Am Defined.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I'm a metal guy, but I'm playing acoustic, like hard acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And so I thought, oh, well, I'll write this for them because they're going to be hot forever, Stu. The Indigo Girls.
I mean, theoretically, that is true.
They're still playing.
Kicking ass, taking names. I mean, they pioneered a real renaissance of that type of music in their style and their vibes.
Yeah.
Well done, you. 12th cut.
But so it's basically like, to come in and like as the producer go, okay, start it with the chorus. Like, don't start it with that intro part. Come right in on the first melody note of the lyrics instead of the intro.
Yeah.
Or like there's a bunch of things I'm fucking with myself with, and that one worked. Nice. Where I was like, oh, thank you, producer guy. Good call.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. You should try anything once, twice if you like it. I mean, if it's like if somebody says to you, "Here's an idea," now. I think it's pretty obvious right away in the room that, in my head or in your head, if we're producing or if we're mixing or doing any of the stuff, it's like, that's not going to work, and I know why. But I'm going to not say that out loud. I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And we're going to see how everybody feels about it. Because it doesn't matter if I like it or not. If it's the right idea for the tune, who cares?
Right. And sometimes those little fuck with you things change the second part of the song. Like, that may not be the answer to start with the chorus, but because you did that, the way you came out of it into the verse, like, this has happened to me. You start with the chorus and you come out of it going into the first verse, and you're like, oh, that's a weak point.
Yeah.
Like, so I need to change that, like, how I nail that landing coming out of the first chorus to the second verse, so then I can fix that then.
Yeah.
Like, there's an example of this in Photograph by Def Leppard. Okay. So when it's like the chorus is, photograph, and then it comes back down, and it on the fourth one, it holds it unresolved. Mm-hmm. All I want is a photograph, instant love. Yeah. And then it comes back into the verse. Mm-hmm. So instead of finishing that round of four, it just holds. Yeah. And it has that little guitar part, which it makes it unresolved, and I'll be your lover, and then it comes in slamming hard. So like there's ways to like hear it in other songs of what I'm talking about, but that's like the exact thing that happened to me. I was like, oh shit, there's this pre-chorus, and I should just finish the round of fours that I was doing. Like there's a 1 and a 2 and then a 3 and then come back in. Yeah. And I ended up going, oh, cut the fourth in half and let it just hang, and then come back in on the 1. Yeah. And so like that's, and look, the other thing is that this is a lot easier when you're just doing like singer-songwriter acoustic shit. Yeah. Like I'm not worried about, guitar tones necessarily. I'm not worried about
I'm
what
so
kind
devastated
of drums
by
should
this.
be on these. But see, this is where it's going to go later to other producing. If it ever gets fully produced. Yeah. And some of them I think will.
Nice. Nice. How many total? Do you have a total on them yet?
We're past 490 now. So I think there's probably there's over 500 that are finished. Then there's like this pile that's like 40 like just verse choruses. Yeah. So like I have hooks, but it's not a full song.
Wow.
And also because I'm an older songwriter, almost all of these are A, B, C's. Like they all have, they're all verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, out. Yeah. Like, so they all have like 3 or 4 parts.
I did a song recently, actually not recently, it was in the last few years, where I did actually do B, A, B, C, B. So I started on the chorus, and the chorus comes right in. There's no intro, right? Because it was an experiment, kind of like what you're talking about, where you're like, I recognize I have all these habits. I want to write this so it has absolutely nothing to do with those habits whatsoever. I mean, it was an attempt, it was an experiment, and I ended up liking it. So I was like, I'm going to work through that. But I remember doing that a lot as a guitar teacher as well, because I'm a hyper observant teacher, I would be watching people play, and I'd be like, you're doing the same licks over and over again. I catch myself doing this. Like if I'm starting the solo and I've got 3 minutes to improv, which never happens anymore, where am I going to start the solo? Well, usually I'm going to start right in the middle of the fretboard. I'm going to start in the middle two strings, middle of the whole kit and caboodle, the middle of the scale, and then I've got up or down to go. And so what I would find myself doing on those longer nights, if you're playing 3-4 hours, and it's a singer songwriter or whatever, and you have space to explore, I would have to find. I'd have to take a couple of little notes, write a little note. I write it on my phone now, which is like, start bottom, start top, start here, start, I write these little notes and I cross them off as I'm going through. Right. So that I'm trying different things, start on a volume swell, start on on a set break. I'll just take a moment and write down all these ideas of place to start so that I don't find myself repeating over and over and over again the same entrances that I've been doing the whole night. Now, if I've had a few beers, that's a lot easier because... because it's I'm not attached to any methodology at that point in time. My creative boundaries are down, and it's all this. It's really kind of a free for all. And you might get it was like when you'd see Led Zeppelin in the 70s. You never knew what you were gonna get. You didn't know which version of it. You might see the fucking rock gods, the titans of Olympus. Just stomping the stage, being ungodly, or you might see the very tired, drugged out guys that were fucking each other with a shark the night before.
Right. Totally.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just something that I try to be careful with these days. But definitely trying to break those habits and alter my perspective so I can approach it from different places. And the same thing happens as a producer. Even if I choose to work in Pro Tools, I'm pretty proficient in Pro Tools. I could run a Pro Tools session. Yeah. So I choose to work in Luna every now and then. So I have to just,
Oh,
so
yeah.
rather,
Nice.
or, even Cubase or what the hell? I can't remember that. Can see it.
Cakewalk?
No, not Cakewalk.
I pull out my old compact 86 Pentium. All right, let's see how good at this shit I really am.
Exactly. Oh, God, none of these controls work.
Your fucking preamp blows up.
It's like it's
because it has more memory than your whole computer.
Exactly. I gotta remember, but I will try and do something in a different.
Produce this album on Audacity.
Oh, what was the one that used to get on Sony Vios that had 2 tracks?
Oh yeah,
I remember having that one too. But just try it on something different so that you have some boundaries around your creativity. So you have to explore. I don't have all my shortcuts. I don't have all my plugins. I don't have all my stuff here. I have to do this differently today, and that's always a really, really, really fun adventure. And it really does let you know who's in it in it to win it, if you will. Because if you don't have your comforts around you and you still have that determination to create something magical, that's a pretty powerful motivator, to get you to where you want to be,
Totally. And I think that's the other reason why I'm doing it this way is because it's very stripped down. So it's just,
you were a strip club DJ.
Guitar and vocal. I'm recording it naked. Yeah. And, everybody's like, oh, I was really interested in listening to it.
And I turn it off because now that visual is in my head. I don't know. You can gyrate.
But, that's always an issue when, I love the idea. I did a record years and years ago where I went in and I did first takes.
Yeah.
I probably did 2 or 3 runs.
Nice.
But I recorded the whole thing in a day.
Wow.
But then I went back in and re-record and then did the vocals over it.
Yeah.
So I stood up, played acoustic guitar, and sang. Yeah. Because I wanted that vibe. Okay. I wanted that feeling. And then I went in and did the vocals after it. But I did 10 songs, the best takes I could at the time. That was the whole point of it. And then brought in people to do bass and all the rest of it. It was really hard to do it that way.
Yeah.
Really fucking hard. And the other thing is that I was so used to back in the day of either being an opener or playing with a band this way. And so my mind was always okay, how's this song going to translate live? Not necessarily at that point, not like a like a cabaret troubadour,
Yeah.
not like sitting on a stool, which I've done
Did
that
you give a coin
like
to your
years and
witcher?
years ago, but then but I spare a coin. But you know, not on a stool like in a small poetry room or anything, but like on stage, standing up, playing acoustic guitar. So that's where the Waka Chickas come from, and digging
because
in.
you're the
because
drummer
I want
as
it to
well.
be exciting,
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be exciting, like, you know, for people who are like, oh, fucking boring acoustic. I wanted to surprise people every single time, because I sing like a soul singer and play like an electric guitar on my acoustics, and I thought, oh, this would be cool, But now I'm like thinking, oh, well, there's some of this I should probably be more delicate about it, and make it, you know, give it its attention on guitar playing and
What?
and that sort of thing.
I don't understand what you mean.
But I know, fucking guitarist. But also, but I don't have a whole lot of gear getting in the way of just like a really clean acoustic part.
Yeah.
I'll add acoustic shit later, but I mean just the rhythm, and then just singing.
Yeah.
And but what's fucking me up, like I was saying, I'm watching shit to kind of get into recording again, like in an artistic mindset, not for money, not like bang it out and bounce it and pitch it,
bounce it and pitch
which is like unfortunately what sync has become when you're doing that is like bang it out, bounce it and pitch it, and you know that's what it is. It's okay, but like, you know, candles and the lighting and get in the mood, get my mind in the right place so that my voice is doing the right thing to sell the message.
Have a series of scented oils.
As I'm watching, and as I'm watching this stuff, I'm fascinated and like sort of brought into Time into Breathe Again by Pink Floyd.
Yes. Yeah.
And the reprise thing. So like that whole, the song, and then it goes into Breathe Reprise, I believe.
Yeah, the home again part.
Like, there's no fucking reason for that to be together, and I think of those as the same song.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
And I think most people do. And you were in a Pink Floyd project that was very, very successful.
I was very good at it.
So I know that you know this, but like, those are two songs that like, I mean, in Pink Floyd land, they can work live, but I think most rock bands would be like, okay, these are album tracks. These are not playing. These are not in our 45-minute set, you know? But I'm like, but the retard in it is like, fucking it. Like, I'm kind of starting to think about little things like that. Can I, because I'm not thinking about playing them live at all, especially right now, the point is that I'm sort of the producer guy is putting his hat on and going, okay, what if we take the tempo and just drop it way back during this bridge and make the outro longer, and maybe you could write something into that and it becomes another little motif in the song.
Totally.
And I'm like, oh yeah. So there's a song that's has that on it now.
Nice.
It's not great. It's not done. Because it's never existed.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So you take a song, it's like, I think this one's at least 22 years old. Take a song that's 22 years old, and then like there's someone walking around today who lost her ID last night at the bar. But like you take that song that I knew it then at the time to be one thing, and even played it live and people liked it, but it just never took off and never was something we recorded as a band. So it just never found a home. And so now to take it now and like to play it and then go, oh, what if I just completely fucking change the ending?
Why not?
So
I just started rumblings and
but
musings.
the danger is not getting to the other 490 songs. So I'm trying to just get them all down, and then I can fuck with that. But there's a few of them that are sticking out and going, hey, play with me a little bit more. They're like little sexy ones.
Can you give yourself like are you organized enough to go, no, I'm going to bang out dirty those 490 songs in the way they currently are, but I've got asterisks by these 12 because I want to fuck with them later. Are you good at that?
I'm actually trying to. I'm trying to organize it in chunks of 10 that I want to do, because the issue is I have to relearn them.
Oh.
So I mean, I remember
So you can play a different set
I wasn't
every night.
charting shit when I was 23. Like there's chords on the lyric sheet, but there's always like for me at least, there's always that one fucking chord.
Yeah.
You know, like as a songwriter
surprise.
that I wanted to be cool about.
Yeah.
And like when I'm singing it, I can tell I'm like, oh, that's not just G. It's somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a secret.
There's a feeling to it. There's a way it feels.
And I got to find that chord again and kind of tempos and all that. And so I don't want to short shrift it that way.
Short shrift?
And so I'm trying to chunk them at 10.
Yeah.
And then, and not anthology wise. So that was my big thought is like, should I record these from the beginning of when the oldest one was written?
Mm-hmm. Which one can you
remember?
remember?
The latest one that was written.
Yeah.
Or should I just kind of go with like what I remember the best, which ones I remember the best, like that I did play a lot? Or should I go with like songs that like I think are viable commercially? Yeah. And I'm trying to stay away from the commercial thing because that will fuck me up, right? I think this is the reason why they're not recorded probably. Yeah. And so it's like, I just want to get them out, don't die with the music in you.
Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
And so I'm just trying to, but it's which ones I want to spend a little bit more time on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's the organizational task that I have.
Gotcha.
But I think I'm also going to like print a lyric book.
Oh.
Because I mean, like there's, I have handwritten lyrics to most of these on paper. Ooh. So then but I want you to see the shitty lyrics too. like look at him rhyme door with more again.
Mug with bug.
And then like maybe when I'm recording it, I'm like, oh, either I'll make that decision or like, okay, it is what it is. I'm going to record it. Or I'll go, oh, you know what? I'm going to revise that verse. Yeah. And then I'll print that. I'll print what that revision
How many people do you think don't know that the original lyrics of Yesterday were scrambled eggs? Because I think that, I think about that often, I know that when I'm writing, especially melodically speaking, and all I can think of is this dumb fucking lyric about scrambled eggs. It's like, that's what's going down for now. Until I have a better idea. And so, if I'm writing car with bar, which, it's, and I'll, it'll usually be circled or, underlined in red or something like that, like fix this annoyingness right here. Because every time...
Not good.
Every time that, I write something that I don't enjoy, and occasionally this just happened recently. I've got this song that's been sitting. I still have not found the guest rapper, by the way. The guest rapper does not exist.
God damn it, I need to get on that.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. I'm not holding you responsible. But I actually changed one of the lyrics in the chorus because I was like, that lyric has always rubbed me weird because it was a little derisive. And I recorded it because I was like, I didn't have anything better at the time. And it wasn't until maybe 7 years later, and I've never put the song out because I was like, that's not right, that's not it, that's not it, that's not right, that's not the right one. And so what I had to do was actually I dubbed that word and had to go through and EQ match it and get it to say and you can't tell that was recorded 7 years later. Yeah.
I've seen some bad ones.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just say I've seen some, that was 2 a.m. at a Denny's, clearly.
Back in the day when you could still smoke in Denny's.
Yep.
Village Inn.
And, and I think that there's something to be said for some of that.
Yeah.
Like, I also don't want to be too hard on myself for some of the weaker stuff because, what am I going to do? I'm going to make them like 3-syllable words now.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to work. So that's my whole thing is not to get in the way of myself of doing this.
Oh man, that's the hardest piece, isn't it?
This is the producer hat.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, just fucking record it. We'll work on the rest later.
Yeah.
It's like, but what if I change this? I just shut up.
No, but
the red light's on, record it.
Yeah.
And just,
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're getting to, I think. But it is really hard to figure out which ones to hit first. Because I feel like, especially for this project, because it's going to take forever. Yeah. But I think for getting into it, I'm really trying to build momentum. So I'm finding songs that I did play a lot but never made it anywhere or just didn't get into the next project I was doing at the time, but that I pretty much remember.
Nice.
And then there's like one or two in the first few runs that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to like workshop that and like remember how I played it. You know, and this is just for people to understand what that means. So like, you know, because there's some people who probably don't kind of get what we're talking about. But like, if you're playing it on acoustic guitar, you could play, you know, C, D, G, A, right? You could say those were the chords. But I most likely played different positions of those chords. Because I most likely did not write them all in just your regular C and D positions, and then also had like passing minors or whatever in them because I wanted to make it a cool song, and I'd play up the fretboard, and that's the feeling of that chord I wanted more, a higher voicing of C or a bar of C, you know, instead of the open ringing C. And so those are the things you have to kind of remember. Like I can sing them and know, okay, where those root notes are and all of that. But figuring out where I played them, that's the other. But you know, like I know that you know this as a guitarist. Sometimes as long as you can get that one chord change. Whatever it is,
it unlocks the whole thing.
You can figure the rest of it out because you're like, okay, well, I didn't jump 14 fucking frets. That would not have made sense. So it's got to be somewhere
around here,
like between 0 and 7, most likely. If I get up into 5, I'm probably around 5 to 9. You know, like I wouldn't be going up and down the fretboard 1,000.
Why not?
You know, you're going to only go.
Why
I
not?
know.
I don't understand.
Because I definitely couldn't have.
Because I was probably loaded when playing this in public. No, it's
and some of them are just weak blues songs. That's the other thing is that like I'm like, well,
have you come across any?
Those are going to just have to stay there.
Have you come across any that are you started working through, and you put aside because you were like, I don't want that one's not good enough to record, or are you like bound and determined to play through the entire catalog, even if it's not a spectacular song?
Well, okay, so that's the problem, is that I want to get enough momentum to where I feel okay recording shitty ones.
Okay. Oh.
So I'm trying for like the first 50 to make sure that they're decent and that they're surprising. They're not weak. They're not just 3-chord turnaround songs without a message and just rhyming words for the fuck of it.
3-chord turnarounds.
So I am trying to figure out those songs that I'm like that's like I was doing some really kind of avant-garde shit. Like I wrote this song called The Dark One about Satan, about the devil. And you know, and it's just like sort of a finger plucking he's the dark one.
Oh, like
and
a
it's
smooth
like
lounge
one of those
tune?
kind of songs. Yeah.
Awesome.
It is totally like a lounge song. But then it has like a really hard part in it.
Yeah,
like it's a challenging song to listen to, I'm sure. But like at the time, it's so different than Brown Eyed Girl, Margaritaville, whatever you're playing in the bar as an acoustic guy trying to make your money. And so when I could play my original ones, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna really write out of what I normally do here. And there are a few of those that, you know, they may not work, but they're not songs that you've heard before.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And so I want to get those down, but I also know that there are a few, not a few. There are, I mean, anyone that writes over 100 songs, you have weak songs. You just do. And so I know that a lot of them are weak, but I just know that there are a few that, like, I remember at the time, you know, there are cassettes of me playing them.
What's a cassette?
With people. So there's like a song with Jamie and Jody called Groupies.
Of course there fucking is.
And it is a great fucking song. Groupies probably got some kind of disease.
Oh, dear.
Groupies. And it's like short for cheap and easy piece of dumbass. And it's like got a Guns N' Roses like arpeggio D on it.
Okay.
It's and you know, it's just a cool song though. But I have a recording of it, and it's a shitty cassette recording of it. So there's kind of some of those that I'm like, I may bring some people in and go, hey, just do me some iPhone vocals on this, and I'll mix them in.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not a great song. But to me, at the time, it was like it would bring down a bar.
Okay.
You know? And so I don't know because I've been so far away from doing like acoustic singer-songwriter shit because I got sick of it.
Yeah.
I got so sick of seeing an acoustic singer-songwriter. I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
I think it depends on
in
the
interim, we've had fucking Ed Sheeran be one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he's moved into hip hop and looping and, you know, and all of that. He can pull off the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like, you know, for a while there, like during new metal or during like emo shit in the mid 2000s or whatever, like you could not get on a stage, just play an acoustic guitar and singing. Everybody would be like, no, get the fuck out of here. And I was one of them.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
you know what's funny though is like I get asked constantly to do these days solo shows, and I'm like, and you know, with the looping stuff and with some of the technology we've got now, it's pretty fucking easy for me to go do that. Even if I wanted to go play backing tracks and sing along with them, right? It's pretty easy for me to go and do that. But it depends on the audience. I'm not going down to Herman's Hideaway on a Friday and standing out there. The balls, okay, prior to Ed Sheeran going out in front of a stadium full of people, I saw Stephen What's-His-Nuts from Bare Naked Ladies go out in front of Ben Folds and John Mayer, Red Rocks, by himself in a powder blue tuxedo. And I was shocked. He was amazing. He was completely entertaining. He had everybody in the palm of his hand, and it was just him, you know?
Yeah.
And it was...
See, that's the shit I used to do, is like I would be on call.
Yeah.
And if you needed an opener, like your
pager would go off, your beeper.
Samples and shit at the O, and like, you know, I would just go and when Greg and I were doing it like as a duo, it was the same thing. It was like we just show up with acoustic guitars and like, you know, here's your 45 or your 30 minutes. Yeah. And I would have a fun song in there.
Yeah.
I would have, you know, so it wasn't like almost never in an opener show was it ballads.
Yeah. No.
Like it was all up tempo, like fun acoustic shit, and I just wanted people to be like, "Holy shit, that it can sound like that."
That guy would really fucking entertain
I'd run my
me.
acoustic through 2 amps, through a trainer, and then through a Fender Bluesman.
Nice.
I would have like, you know, so it had a little bit of edge on it the more you dug into it. And so everyone was, you know, but everyone wanted me to be like, oh, you need to go direct. I'm like, fuck you. Yeah. No, you're going to mix me like an acoustic guitar player. I don't want that. Yeah. I want it to sound
a little gritty, a little
massive. Yeah.
You know what's funny is when I played with Jack Johnson in New Orleans at Jazz Fest, he ran through 2 deluxes. Marty Lloyd from Freddie Jones Band plays through a deluxe and a twin as well, through with his Gibson and direct, so he has both. You know, I
I'd run it through a Fender. I have this Fender Blonde acoustic tronic or something like that. It's got 2 10s, and it has 2 sides to it. Like it has 2 channels. Ooh. But so I would put 1 channel through there, and that would be my clean.
Yeah.
And then they would run it direct from there, and then there also was miking the trainer, which is a big 12. Yeah. And like a vintage amp, and then the Fender. And so like I'd stack them. And of course, you know, for sound guys listening to this, they're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
A goddamn acoustic guitarist.
Yeah, but of course. That's what we like to sound. And and that's fine.
Electric acoustic.
Can we talk more about your Satan song?
Yes. the
dark one.
I have a few Satan songs.
Yeah.
I love Satan songs.
This ties nicely into our one of our topics for this week.
Yes, I need to get on this song right away so I can catch the wave.
Yeah, catch the wave.
It's Satanic Panic time. We're coming. It's back.
Satanic Panic.
I love it so much. I do.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did you grow up in, I know you're younger, but did you grow up in churches?
Oh, yeah. That's how I learned music.
Or were your parents nice people?
My parents are still nice people, but we definitely grew up in churches. My brother is a pastor. My parents still,
Sorry.
aggressively attend church.
Yes.
You know, you know, that's fine. Everybody's got their thing, you know. We all call it different things. So, but yeah, I grew up in churches, and that's where I learned choir and played. That's where I started playing trombone and piano, and yeah.
So for those who don't know, the Satanic Panic is back in music. And it's just hilarious to me. It always has been, and I'll tell you why. But I want to mention a few people here. There is like these motherfuckers, okay? First of all, most of them are GOP. I don't think that there's any Democrats that are out there talking about how Doja Cat is satanic, that kind of thing. But Lil Nas X.
Oh, that's been happening for years.
The blood in the shoes.
Yeah.
And the thing is that this Satanic Panic that's happening now is really going after queer artists.
Yeah.
Just so you know, there's a lot more of that. Lil Nas X, Sam Smith, pointing devil horns. I find that hilarious. But let me just mention a few people. Yeah. Ted Cruz thinks that Pat Benatar's music is an embodiment of evil. Pat Benatar.
Oh, boy.
We belong. So there's Pat Benatar.
Well, Shadows of the Night is definitely a placation to Satan.
That's right. Obviously.
Clearly.
And I think it's because his child or whatever probably played for him Hell is for Children. Like the only song that you could possibly think of Pat Benatar's would have anything to do with the devil is probably Hell is for Children, which is just... My God, it's just hilarious. But Kim Petras and Sam Smith, cages and whips.
Well,
and
Kim Petras is confusing to everybody, who like says, "Wow, that woman is beautiful. She's got a what now?" And I think that that's the part that they're confusing with satanic is like you made my penis feel weird. It's really the point, because she's gorgeous,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm confused.
Stop throwing shit at her, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
The Michigan GOP accuses Beyonce of Satanism.
Well,
yes, Christians were protesting the Beyonce concert. I've seen this a lot over TikTok that you guys don't understand it, and like a lot of Black Twitter too. Like you don't see how this is glamoring people, these huge events at music festivals, the lighting and the music is changing people to join the devil's army.
Oh, my goodness.
Florida congressional contender K.W. Miller claims that Beyonce is an Italian Satanist. Now, I did not know that there was a difference.
Well, those are the worst kind.
Them. She also says that Beyonce is faking being black. So there's that. Yeah, that's great.
This is hilarious.
And it's partially because Beyonce gave her legion of haters another reason to be afraid.
Oh, good Lord.
Because she purposefully blocked out Jesus in a recent Instagram photo. Let me also mention another name. I just want to make sure that you know these names. So there's Ted Cruz. There is that KW chick. There is also... Christina Caramo, a candidate for Michigan's Secretary of State, called Beyonce, Cardi B, and Billie Eilish, other stars, I should say, tools of Satan. Yes. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Kanye West, and all of the rest of today's pop superstars are devil-worshipping thralls of the Illuminati. Yes, let's bring it. So that might be where the Italian stuff comes in. Illuminati. Yeah. I thought that's pretty good.
This is hilarious. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
I felt the exact same way in the 80s when this was going on, although I was like 9. But, I was still hilarious. I remember Marilyn Manson also, despite that we have since found out that he is a... Anyway, I remember when Antichrist Superstar came out, there was a whole lot of, it's the instrument of Satan, instrument of Satan, instrument of Satan, instrument of Satan. Do you guys have nothing else to do with your time? Don't you have constituents to represent? Don't you have shit to do? Don't you have fucking things to clean up? Don't you have messes to deal with? But no, it's all about the morality of people that don't look like you. Fuck you. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. Cool? I am of the age, I was dead center in Satanic Panic. My parents had started taking us to a non-denominational fundamentalist.
Congratulations, by the way.
Born again sort of church.
You needed just a little bit of trauma in your life.
Amazing Grace.
There's the right amount of trauma in your life to be a functioning adult. This was it, right?
Oh my, I have so much trauma. Yeah. Thank you to all the therapists that I've seen over the years. But I was right in there.
Oh, boy.
Right in the mid-'80s. And I was a metal fan. So I'm listening to Shout at the Devil.
Ooh, yeah,
I'm listening to Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. Yeah. I am that guy.
Yeah.
My brother and I are wearing jean jackets, and we
Did you have iron-on patches?
It got absolutely, absolutely,
excellent.
And so, but I was also very much into church.
Yeah,
very much a born again Christian. Yeah. Totally into it. I am completely deconstructed now. Way long ago that happened.
There's something magic about that music, though, man. I'll tell you what. I understand.
But here's what's hilarious. So I'd be listening to Motley Crue and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and Dio in my Walkman and just the whole thing, right? And then on Wednesday, I would go to youth group. This is how much church I went to. So I had Wednesday youth group, Thursday choir practice.
Saucy.
Saturday, we had another choir practice for the service. Then I would do 2 services on Sunday. And then the Sunday night service, which was a worship service. For music and all the rest of it. And then Bible study on Monday. And most of those Bible studies were end times Bible studies. So I was all about Revelation.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I was
Metallica.
all in.
Another Slayer.
And so on Wednesday, we would go to youth group. And there was one Wednesday we go to youth group.
Oh, boy.
And there we're sitting all in the pews. And so this is a bunch of teenagers. These are a bunch of chicks that I'm finger banging behind the these are all teenagers, pastor daughters, the whole deal, right? And Joe Beach, sorry if you're listening, but our pastor, he was like, well, we have to talk about Satan's influence on you through music. As you all know, music is very important and can change minds and hearts. Yeah. And this is what we're looking at. And up on the huge screen.
All of your bands. All of them.
Coming through the PA. Playing Looks That Kill. I'm playing Shout at the Devil. Playing Run to the Hills. Playing Number of the Beast. And I am just having a blast. I'm just like, this is the best night of church ever.
Yeah.
And listen, and Ozzy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ozzy.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
And so, I never fell for it then.
Yeah.
But my mom and my dad did.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one night my brother and I had to go home and I had to burn my posters.
Oh, no.
Dude, burning your posters. Yeah. And so I just found it hilarious. I was like, even at the time, I was like, but they're saying shout at the devil.
Yeah. Not shout with the devil.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
And they all dress like women.
The same thing was like Ozzy. He's just a drunk.
Yeah.
He's not a devil worshiper.
There's that line from the Osbournes.
And by the way, we were all right. Yeah. But let's just make this very fucking clear to every pastor and preacher and church in the 80s and the 90s that did this to children. You were fucking wrong.
Yeah.
You were wrong. Ozzy was a drug addict.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden were historical fucking writers. Motley Crue was just trying to make a bunch of money and bang a bunch of chicks, and Nikki Sixx just trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
and he failed
you
at that
fucking
a couple times.
Wrong. None of them were Satan worshippers. None of them.
None of them. None of them at all.
Okay.
I just love that line from the Osbournes where Sharon Osbourne puts a bubble machine on stage, and Ozzy goes, "Bubbles, bubbles, Sharon. I'm the Prince of fucking Darkness."
It's daft.
It's just.
I totally remember that.
I had a similar experience like with my. I mean, this was a little later on, but like I was 15 years old, and I was listening to Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, Pantera, Motley Crue. I listened to everything, I was also in a church band that converted a version of Poison's "Nothing But a Good Time" to "Nothing But My Jesus." You are welcome. Oh, did you just do a spit take?
Shit.
Did you just do a spit take? Oh my God, that was amazing. You just launched it.
Oh my God, I almost spit out my pot. Okay, go ahead.
So But I remember my
Jesus Christ.
Do you remember the
Don't need nothing but a Jesus.
Do you remember the episode of South Park with Faith Plus One, Cartman's Christian band, where he just took 80s metal songs and replaced the word baby with the word Jesus? That might be one of the. It's still the funniest and dirtiest, one of the dirtiest lyric-wise things I've ever seen in my life.
By the way, before we go too far, if you are a Christian on this, I will defend your right to worship however and whatever you want. Like, I seriously am open for like open religion, but I also am the same thing about Muslims and Sikhs and Buddhists and atheists, and I do not think that you have domain over America. I respect your beliefs, and my belief in all of this is my own.
Yeah.
Yours is your own. And here's where I come down on this. I hope that everyone goes to the paradise that they want.
Yep.
Whatever that is. So just so you know, this isn't disrespectful towards you. It is toward the machine and these fucking politicians and the deacons and the leaders and the pastors and the preachers. That's who this is against. Yeah. So there you go.
So
I just want to make that clear.
Absolutely.
There are plenty of good Christians.
I agree.
That just pray at dinner and are good people. And so just want to make that clear.
It's the predatory narcissists that we really have an issue with. Doesn't matter where they exist. You know, you almost spit out your pot, huh?
It usually comes with like asking for money, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is amazing to me. 700 Club, PTL, all those fucking people. Get the fuck out of here.
Out of my store.
By the way, my buddy Greg wrote a song called Pimp of Salvation about that. Ooh. We used to play it in Soul Thieves. So fucking
nice.
Good.
That's a great song title, too.
Because, like, that is the era that I grew up in, was, like, the televangelists and the, like, so this all plays into each other, which then led into the PMRC, or the PRMC, with the Parents Resource Music Council, whatever, with fucking Al Gore's wife, and let's put, like, stickers on everything, and Judas Priest backward masking, trial because some kid committed suicide, and just like all of this kind of crap has always been wrong, and here it comes again.
Yeah, it was funny. Like when I was 15 years old and I was listening to all these metal bands. The first song I listened to when I moved to the U.S. was "Quicksand Jesus" by Skid Row, one of my favorite ballads of all time. Absolutely love that record. Such a great song.
God, I love that song.
And Sebastian Bach sings his nuts off on it. But I'm listening to all these great hard rock metal records. Ride the Lightning by Metallica, one of my all-time favorite records, and was the record that taught me how to, speed pick, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and one day I came home and all of my records are gone. All my CDs are gone. All my cassettes are gone. And my parents had confiscated them and hidden them because they believed that the music I was listening to was making me moody. I'd like to point out that at the time I was 15 years old, and moody was just kind of an expected state.
And an immigrant.
And an immigrant. I was in a place where there were no friends. I had to make new friends, and then my parents had taken away the one thing that I was really, really gravitating towards. If you would like to, draw a direct line between the path you don't want your children to walk down and, your actions, you have to let them figure that out for themselves, rather than trying to force it by doing something like that. That's my opinion. But eventually...
Well, yeah, every parent knows that. Like it's just like saying that you don't want your daughter to date that guy. Yeah. He's bad for you. Well, she's totally going to date that guy.
Yeah, exactly. So, you have to... Yeah. It's reared its head a few times. But the funny thing is like somebody like Lil Nas X, like I am a massive fan. I don't always love his music, but I'm a massive fan of the artistry he's displaying in what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, so his marketing is artistic. His videos are artistic. His brand is always evolving. Like, I'm a big fan of what he does. And it's one of those things where I wonder if a piece of the coming down on the morality piece of this is a little bit of jealousy. Well,
sure.
Like, why is nobody listening to us like they're listening to that guy? Well, because that guy's having a good time and you're telling everybody what to do.
Well, okay, so as I've mentioned most of these artists, do you know that there's another through line through here?
What is it?
Melanin.
Oh, I kind of thought about that, which is why...
They're almost all people of color.
Yeah. Ugh, that's disgusting.
And specifically black artists. And like, let's not pussyfoot around it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Ted Cruz isn't speaking out against some death metal core band out of Norway.
Yeah.
Shout out Norway.
Yep.
He's not fucking, going on about like some white metal band, right? Like this is different this time.
Yeah.
It's about black artists that are sexual and I mean, okay, there's Sam Smith and Kim Petras, but for the most part, when you go into Doja Cat and Lil Nas X and Travis Scott and Beyonce and like, okay, we see what you're doing, you fuckheads.
Yeah.
And so like, there is part of that to this, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because like all of my black friends are like so much more religious than I've ever been. You know what I mean? Like there is a strong tradition of religion for good reason in the black community because of their ancestors and how churches were a safe place for their ancestors. Well, other than the bombings, other than the fucking KKK and that kind of shit. But I do find it funny that this isn't about just don't be fooled. This is not about saving your soul. It's economics. It's political. It's racism.
Hey, are we going into an election year sometime soon in the near future? What is happening? Is there an election coming?
Oh, weird.
That's really weird
that this would be coming up now.
Oh, wow. Huh. Well, see you later.
I know. And it just is like, I just find it hilarious. And the reason why I'm speaking out about it a little bit is I thought for sure by now we would just dismiss this out of hand.
No.
And yet last week or whenever there was another call for the rapture.
Oh, yeah.
Right, there's another rapture date definitely going to happen for realsies this time. All those other ones, just a little math problem. We figured it out. It's going to definitely happen on this certain date. And it's like, how often do you people have to be fucking wrong? And we continue to be like, oh, well, they're all nice people. I'm sorry, but like, the organized religion, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of my store.
Like, you're hurting people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you come after my music, you can fuck off. Like, I'm sorry. You can just fuck all the way off. And, we don't even have to get into this. The devil isn't real.
Yeah.
But like the devil is around you. There is no Satan. It is the evil people around you. And it's just hilarious to me how many of these people are elected officials or running for office or someone that makes quite a bit of money on your donations. Yeah. This isn't a street preacher who is helping homeless get fed. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's not that guy. Yeah. It's not the woman who is out there trying to help women on the street get off the street and like show them the way of Jesus. Yeah. And going, oh, by the way, there's a satanic panic happening in music. Did you know that? Yeah. No, those aren't the people that are doing it. The people. It's people wearing $1,000, $2,000 suits. From their $4 million houses. Yeah. Talking about this. Yeah. And by the way, Jesus would fucking hate you. Jesus would hate you, people. Yep. So. So there you go. Okay. Well, that's enough.
That was enough of it's quite a rant.
I know. Well, let me give you one more thing. Yeah. Here's when I knew the jig was up. All right. So we're watching the videos one Wednesday or whatever, and they're, by the way, they're showing us the videos and singing and letting us hear the music. Yeah. If it's so powerful and evil,
why are you doing that?
And here you are playing it in the church. Yeah. But so shout at the devil. Yeah. And then there was Judas Priest, probably another thing coming or something ridiculous. Yeah. And then there was Iron Maiden. Yeah. And then there was Dio and listen to him and putting the devil horns up and all that. Yeah. And you guys can all see how satanic this is. And then the last song that they played
was Neil Sedaka.
Was from ELO. And they're like at the end of this, I don't know if you know this, but the backward masking. Listen to this part. And here was the part they played. Natas. All right, all you audio engineers, go ahead and take that and reverse it. Yeah. And it will be Satan. They were fucking around like on a live thing or whatever. But I'm like, wait a minute. You're saying ELO is satanic? I'm out. Like, you guys have no fucking idea what you're talking
Which song was it? Was it? Please tell me it was Mr. Blue Sky, the happiest song of all time. That would be incredible.
by scientific standards.
Yeah, exactly.
The happiest tempo, the happiest key, the happiest melody.
And
yeah, when your preacher is digging into ELO, then I was like, you've lost me here.
I would love it if it was
I almost had you on Dio.
And we've got
Black Sabbath, sure.
We've got Neil Sedaka and Barry Manilow. Listen to this. Here you go. Wow. Don't need nothing but my Jesus. You're welcome.
Oh, how can I repent?
Oh, I don't think it was even that clever.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was my church, which, by the way, was an Armageddon Rapture or Repent kind of church.
That sounds tiring.
It really was, and it's still open. It's ridiculous. All right, enough of the devil music stuff. Go listen to some good devil music today. Go push back against the Satanic Panic.
Can we write a song called Satanic Panic?
I really need to write some more Satan songs right now.
Yeah. Satanic
Panic.
Panic.
Put out an album of like Beelzebub is my bub, or my little buddy Satan, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked that like after watching all of Good Omens, that there was no pushback on that. With regards to somebody like griping about like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
especially with the hellhound
hard to
being
tell
a dog.
How Christians. I just think the whole thing is hilarious.
Yeah,
it's like even Christians can't agree on whether or not. Like there are Christian denominations, right? There are multiple denominations that do not agree on whether there is even a Satan or not.
Oh boy,
there isn't, or whether there is a hell or not. And by the way, I'm Jewish, so there isn't. Or Sheol, just means separation from God. But like all of these religions, if it's so clear to everyone, okay, never mind. I'm not going to get on this deconstruction. Sorry,
take another hit off that joint and sit down for a minute, would you?
That's right. I'm just talking about music.
You're really close to the screen right now.
Y'all. That's all I'm talking about, y'all. Just music. Okay, let's get to the sync of the week, to you guys. Oh my God, Kelsey, what do you think about the devil? Good talk. All right, here we go.
Don't ask her. Way, Did anybody find her?
Kelsey is Catholic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That's what she said. She was like, "Yeah, we're Catholic. She doesn't understand why there's always like a bloody Jesus hanging up." I thought we weren't going to show that. I thought we weren't going to talk about that. Okay.
Beyonce blocked it out.
Yeah. Kelsey's a good Catholic.
Though, she is. She's there just for the wine.
With the parents.
Holidays and funerals.
That's like the John Mulaney thing. You know how you lie to your parents. And also with you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Whenever somebody says "May the 4th be with you," I always reply with "and also with you."
I was watching a Hoska or whatever, the latest Star Wars thing, and someone said, "May the Force be with you," and I literally said to the TV, "and also with you."
Perfect.
But we're wrong because they changed it to, "and also with your spirit, and with your spirit too." What is it? They changed it. This is a whole John Mulaney thing.
Oh
no. Where they changed it around 2000, I believe. But they no longer reply with "and also with you."
Oh, that shows how long it's been for me.
Yeah. So like when you said "the Lord be with you," you used to say "and also with you." But it's not. What is it? And with your spirit. That's right. And this is, if you see the John Mulaney special, he talks about this, where he's like, "I'm in church with my parents. I didn't know what to say, so I went, and also with you." But everyone else in the church goes, "and with your spirit." Oh. And he's like, "and with your spirit." They changed it just to make John Mulaney wrong.
Good Lord.
Just to fool John.
Well, I'm not changing that.
I am not either. So, no,
and I'm going to say we're professional singers. We will say it loud. We will say it much louder than you. As professional singers, we'll be much louder than you. And also with you.
That's right.
In the back row.
And also with you.
My father is a trained operatic tenor. Did a bunch of like vocal lessons when he was younger, and I remember like when I was a kid going to church with them. And my dad is the loudest singer in the world. Because, he's a tenor. So he's like blasting, full. And all the words are wrong. Just top of his lungs. Just all the words are wrong. It's just really. But he didn't give a shit. He just sang like he meant it. It was really. I've always loved that about him. Anyway.
I love it.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Sync.
Re-rack. Sync of the week. Here we go.
Sync.
You want to do yours first?
I can't remember if I've done this one already. Because I know I've done one from Good Omens. But I can't remember if I did this one.
Is it I'm in love with my car?
No, it's not I'm in love with my car.
Okay.
It was their use of Every Day, the Buddy Holly tune, in the last few episodes of season 2.
No. You were talking just about Queen,
yeah.
so yes.
So
this is new.
This was I finished off season 2 finally, and it's you hit the ending. If your heart is not just like a little bit broken at the end of season 2, whoa. You're not paying attention. But you did say there was they're once the writer's strike is done, they've got something. Now they just got to deal with SAG, and we got a season 3 coming, which I'm incredibly excited about. But the way they used Every Day by Buddy Holly and the part of the story arc that it features in is really, really beautiful, and I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. I love it, and that's the part of the show that I was really hoping that all the religious people would get very angry at.
I need to figure out why that song is so ingrained into Brits.
Yeah.
Because it was used as the opening title song for Welcome to Wrexham for the whole first season.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, Buddy Holly's not from Wales.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt like I kind of knew Buddy Holly. And like, by the way, Every Day is a great song.
Yeah.
It was a B-side to Peggy Sue.
Doesn't that tell you something?
I know. Crazy, or I guess to something else. I think it was Peggy Sue. Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong. But I just wonder why, like, that's the second sort of very British show.
Yeah.
Regardless of Rob McElhaney and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
The Wrexham is a British show.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
It's a show, a love letter to Wales, basically.
Yeah.
And I find that, I'm just like, well, why is this, like, such an important song?
Yeah.
Like, why would they pick that?
Yeah.
And by the way, it isn't in the second season. The second season is Don't Forget to Sing.
Yeah. Which I have not started the second season yet, but I'm very excited to watch it because that show is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, the latest one's me. I won't say a damn thing about it. But anyway, so that's the second one I've heard about that. I need to look into that. I wonder what it is about that. Because I don't think Buddy Holly was very, like, specifically big in Britain. I mean, I know he toured there, but that's weird. It's weird to me why some of those songs sort of take off and don't.
Yeah, it's an interesting adventure. And I mean,
50 years on, 60 years on, whatever it is.
60 years on from his death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's Google that. But the music supervision on that show is fucking spectacular. That's Catherine Grimes.
He died in 59.
59? My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're at 64 years.
And I mean, that'll be the day top the charts in 57. And I mean, he started in 52, but didn't really make it until 55, opening for Elvis.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's a short career, and to still have staying power.
Yeah. Just goes to show you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know. Get
tell.
on that plane. You might have a hit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, okay.
Too soon.
Again, trust your guts, trust your instincts, follow your heart, and you'll be fine.
That's right. Plus, it's another great song in the tradition of having a rhythm part played on your knees.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I did find out that the song, the Led Zeppelin song that sounds like that is actually on a guitar case.
Oh, really? In Ramble On?
Boom, 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 boom.
Beginning of Ramble On?
Ramble On, the beginning of Ramble On.
Yeah.
But most notably, Pearl Jam, Daughter.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Is it Daughter? I don't know. One of the Pearl Jam songs has like a knee part.
Oh, big fan of the knee part. Yeah. And so is Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, love. Yeah, wear some Levi's, play some
bang away on them. Yeah.
My sync of the week. So yours is Good Omen 2 Every Day from Buddy Holly.
Yep. and I'm going to go with it. I mean, it's pretty much the end of season 2, but it really kind of shows up pretty robustly in, the last couple 3.
Dying for another Good Omens.
Yeah.
Make as many as you want.
The chemistry between David Tennant and Michael.
I know, but now they're dating. Oh
no, did I ruin it? No, they're not dating. You didn't give it away. They're not dating.
Shut up.
That show is.
I'll bleep that.
Fucking amazing. It's so that last episode was. I was like, no, that's.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm very happy to hear they're going to do a season 3 because it's a wonderful, magical, whimsical journey.
Yes, we love Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, mine. I'm on trailer watch again because I'm watching a lot of trailers.
Excellent.
I got a lot of stuff that's coming up here soon.
Fantastic.
My shows are coming back.
Yeah, y'all.
A few of them. Our Flag Means Death on HBO.
So good.
Fuck you, Max. Fuck you, Max. HBO. So if you haven't seen it, it is a farcical look at a pirate's journey.
Yep.
And multiple pirates. And there is a fanciful man who wants to be a pirate who runs into a real pirate. And it's just lovely.
Yeah.
If you like Taika Waititi.
I do.
And I do.
Yeah.
And if you like Rhys Darby.
And I do.
And I do.
Yeah.
You should watch these. Like, if you like the New Zealand sensibility that they bring to everything, the Kiwi-ishness of everything they do, it's fun and playful and quick-witted and surprising, and it's just a great show. They're coming back.
Yay!
So there's a new trailer.
Yeah.
And this is another anachronistic placement, which I love.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that means, you can search that out in previous podcasts.
Yep.
But anyway, it's using the beautiful ones from Prince.
Ooh, good song. Well
in
done.
a trailer about pirates.
Yeah.
Fake pirates.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
But the line of, do you want him, do you want me, because I want you?
Yeah.
That should tell you a little something about what's happening here.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love that fucking song. It's the beautiful ones from Prince. And I love that they were able to use it on this because it works so well.
Yeah.
It's theatrical.
Yeah.
It's Prince screaming.
Yeah.
And it's just a lovely placement. So that is for Our Flag Means Death, the trailer. I don't know who did it. But it's going to be on HBO, and that is Rhys Darby and
Taika.
It's Taika, right?
Taika Waititi, yeah.
Waititi?
As far as I know, it's Taika.
I don't know if it's Taika or Taika, but I believe it's Taika Waititi. He of also Marvel fame. So.
Yes, of Thor, Ragnarok, and Love and Thunder.
Of the best Marvel
and
stuff.
played Korg, the voice of
some
Korg.
of the more fun
I believe in the Avengers stuff. Yep. Talks like this. And What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah, and he's also the Rock guy, right?
Korg,
like in the prison. He also is a character.
Yep, and he's I mean, did you see the What We Do in the Shadows, the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing, Jojo Rabbit's great, and
Jojo Rabbit, great movie. Yeah.
All right,
anyway, we're gonna ruin.
Yeah, we're not gonna ruin anything, but just follow Taika Waititi. He's amazing, and he's is it Rita Ora? Is his wife?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Just said he's a god in sack.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. New Zealand.
Remember to rate and subscribe and give us 5 stars on Apple
Give us 10
Podcasts.
stars.
Leave a hilarious comment. By the way, big shout out here to Apple Music or to Amazon Music.
Oh.
Amazon Music. Like 15% of you are listening to this podcast on Amazon Music.
Thank you, Amazon Music.
I mean, we've put it on there. We know it's on there. But it's the first time I've seen it in our little analytics and stuff.
We have analytics. Kelsey's not sharing shit with me, so I don't know.
No, Kelsey sends an email and she's like, hey, mention Oslo. Okay, will do. We're supposed to do a Norway episode because we want to get there. Like Kelsey is putting together a bunch of research for Norway, which I have like 4 bands I love in Norway and 2 clubs that I want to mention. And we'll get to that. We're going to do a little Norway episode because we have fallen out of the charts in Norway, and I'm very sad about it.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Norway.
We're going to get back. We're going to get back.
Gonna get back.
In fact, the next podcast we're doing is going to be a whole lot of fun.
Oh, fantastic. Not a whole lot of notes.
So get ready, Norway. We're coming.
We're coming at you hard.
You make sure to email us, 2ShotsMusicPod@gmail.com.
Yes.
And you can follow us anywhere you follow people at 2ShotsMusicPod. And we hope you write a great song. We hope you look good. We hope you feel good. Take care of yourself and your mind and the people around you. Tell someone you love them. Stu, I love you.
I love you too. I appreciate you.
Right on. Until next time, everyone, have a good one. We'll talk to you later.
Write a great song.
Bye.